Hello and welcome to this episode of the Be Free podcast. I am so excited to be back with you all. And yeah, I had a little bit of a break as I was focusing on the completion of my second meditation scripts book, which I'll pop a link below if you want to sign up and be on the wait list for when that goes live. And hopefully you guys love it as much as you have loved the first one and it supports many people, or you maybe know a yoga teacher or a space holder that you think, wow, I think they would really enjoy that, then I shall pop the link and you can get on the wait list. So as soon as it goes live, I can let you know. But returning to work after school holidays, I know it can feel like a bit of a common theme for people if they have been off, that there's this process of like catching up, feeling overwhelmed. Life can feel hard. You can feel like you're struggling. Like the list is just never ending. And I'm sure that you have experienced some of those moments. Um, so I have been teaching my meditation and mindfulness CPD course to a huge variety of different people, actually, from photographer, reflexologist, facialist, Reiki healer, accountant, like so many, like just to name a few, so many different varieties of people. But it's been really wonderful for me to return back to these practices and the joy of sharing these practices with people. And I wanted to share some of that with you today. So, if you have, know of anyone who is experiencing like just maybe a time that just feels like there's a lot, right? There's a lot. And maybe you're telling yourself, I just need to get through this crazy period. And maybe this is an episode you return to when that period occurs. But we all have those moments. And I would say, coming back to work after being off on holiday, I too had that feeling yesterday. I am in the process of completing my manual for my meditation and mindfulness teacher training. And it just feels like a lot. There's a lot of moving parts from setting up webinar links, email links behind the scenes and sorting out elements of the certification, setting up all the program space, um, along with delivering stuff to my CPD clients, setting up my new meditation students so they're good to go when the time comes, sorting out payments, accounts, all of the things. Anyway, yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, I got into that little bit of that state of berating myself. Like, you could have started this earlier. Like, you haven't given yourself enough time, all of that jazz. And my husband was like, Susie, you were off on holiday. Like, it's like school holidays and you're having family time. And yeah, the one thing that came through, so I sat in meditation this morning and I was given the phrase, I'm going to read it out here, I can find peace in the process. And what that meant as it came through for me today was this practice of mindfulness and mindful awareness. So I'm going to read you a definition of mindfulness. This is actually something I was sharing yesterday with one of my CPD students. So the definition of mindfulness is, and this is from John Kabat-Zinn, who was the creator of mindfulness-based stress reduction. But his definition is mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And then I sometimes add in the service of self-understanding and wisdom. Now, this power of acceptance, this power of presence, and this non-judgment is massively, massively powerful. And just by creating this kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Non-attachment. So this is something we speak about in mindfulness, this non-attachment, or in meditation as well, this non-attachment to things. Now, as human beings, we love to make meaning, right? We love to make meaning of everything, right? It's how we can kind of process life. So we love to make meaning of the person not responding to your text, or we love to make meaning of, the fact that you haven't finished your to-do list means that you're lazy, or da 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 da. The brain loves to make meaning of these things, and often the meaning that it comes to isn't actually true. And what we have discovered and has been discovered through studies looking, using mindfulness to support people and using mindfulness to support things, like chronic pain, is that actually acceptance reduces pain. Okay. So the acceptance of a condition or the acceptance of a situation or the acceptance of things helps reduce the pain, whether that be emotional, physical, spiritual, metaphorical, like it helps take away that edge. And that quote that I was given this morning in my meditation practice, I can find peace in the process, is instead of thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this done? Da 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 da. I actually just did my meditation, lit my beautiful candle that I got from a client, made myself a nice cacao, and I sat down and I just started actioning the tasks. I didn't make any meaning of it. I didn't make any story of it. Not that they were bad, sometimes you can be like, oh God, well, this is just a really hard thing that I need to do, or I don't like doing this particular thing, so it's just hard, right? I get that when I'm doing podcast questions for when I'm interviewing people. I procrastinate on it so much because it's something that I find quite challenging. And then I do it and I'm like, why did I worry about that? Like it was actually quite easy. Um, but the meaning that I've given that, like this is a hard task or this is a task that I struggle with, has actually created the pain and created the resistance. Whereas it's not the task itself, because actually when I do the task, it's fine. Right. So when we're thinking about our lives and the struggles we're maybe facing, or that we're going through a hard time, or we're telling ourselves that once this crazy time passes, then I'll rest. Once this passes, life will be easier. Da 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 da. We tell these stories again, like we just have to push through, push through, push through. But what if you didn't have to push through? What if you just moved through? What if you just easily glided through instead of this resistance that we create in our human mind by attaching meaning to things. Um, so kind of moving with this kind of non-judgmental, easeful approach, um, mindful approach, this stuff gets done so much quicker. Right. And this is what I've discovered. We can think like, oh, like there's no way I'm going to get through this. How can I get through this? And when we take ourselves, remove that resistance from it and just start doing it, we're like, oh, this actually has happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. And we can kind of move through it. Equally, I this year writing two books, launching my meditation and mindfulness teacher training, which are massive, massive creative big things. When we're doing anything new, like that can feel quite challenging. Um, and the potential there is for me just to blow my mind and think, well, I just can't do it. I can't get all that done. But what the finalizing of my book and sending it away to the editor a couple of weeks ago showed me that actually, if I focus on that one thing, I can get it done. And there was a podcast I shared up actually about, focusing on that one thing. And this is something I am doing more and more, this real mindful approach. So, as Kabat-Zinn said, they're paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. I am not thinking about 10 steps ahead. I am thinking about what do I need to do today. I am not thinking about months ahead or everything I want to achieve this year. I am picking, I have like a monthly theme and then I break that down and then I have daily, like weekly, daily. And that's how I approach my day and life now so mindfully, and it makes it so much more easeful. I was speaking about this with my sister the other day, and we were talking about, all the things as sisters do, like all the things you want to get done in life and all those things. And I was saying to her, as women, we can do everything, right? Everything will get done, just not all at the same time. And that was one of the biggest learning curves for me, I would say, in the past 3 years, navigating a chronic health condition, navigating perimenopause, and just generally looking to live a balanced, aligned life, right? We don't, before I would have been like, oh, because I have this idea, I have to get it done now and I have to put it out there and I have to share it with you guys, or there's something I want to do at home, so I have to do it immediately. Absolutely not. And that was one of my biggest teachings, as I say, when with a chronic health condition, because I only had so much energy, I only had so much capacity, I only had so much brain space that I couldn't do everything. And this is where that acceptance part comes in. Once I accepted that you can do those things, just not all at once. So there is a time and a place, and that is great. And it leads you to this more balanced approach to life. So thinking about your life right now, maybe there's loads of things you want to get done. What's the first one? Right, just focus on the first one. It's like taking steps, right? You don't get to the top just by one like crazy leap. And that comes back to that, finding peace in the process. What's just that next step? How can you enjoy that next step? And then how can you enjoy that next step? And then how can you enjoy that next step until you have this incredible outcome? You've had moments where you've enjoyed your life, you felt peaceful, you felt more connected, you felt more balanced, you felt more aligned, as opposed to just like, holy shit, get me to the end of this week because this is really freaking hard. Or I'm never going to get it done. Why did I set myself these goals? Or like whatever it is, you know, step by step, day by day, being present, being mindful, showing up, um, is really important. Now, I was sharing again with my CPD students, some quotes from a gentleman called William Bloom, who he was speaking about the core state of meditation. And some of the things he said were to be at ease, to be awake, conscious, kind, compassionate, um, connected, watchful, observing, curious, inquiring. And all of these things we can weave into our life as well. This kindness, this compassion, this consciousness, this mindfulness. And when we bring that into our life, we can navigate these times so much more easily. So, this is us just easing back into podcasting. Again, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got so many ideas for the podcast. Where do I start? Which one? Really need to prepare. And I just thought, you know what, Susie, go live, share what you know. And we've started, right? And with that momentum, with that action comes momentum, and that will build and build and build into the next podcast and the one after that and the one after that. And it's just step by step. So I would love for you guys to try and find peace in the process of whatever is going on in your life, to try and cultivate that patience, to recognize that you can do the things, but maybe just not all at once. And by doing that, you can be really fully present, engaged, and have this much more enriching experience than just hammering on trying to do all the things and not enjoying the process. So let's slow down, be more mindful, be more present, be compassionate, loving, and yeah. I hope that this episode really, really supports you. If you are interested in my meditation CPD program or my meditation teacher training, I'm going to pop a link below for a webinar I am running, where I'm going to be taking you guys through just some aspects of what it's like to guide and support people with meditation and mindfulness, some tips, some various bits and pieces, but then also what's involved in my certified programs, everything, times, costs, prices, the whole thing, and then an opportunity to ask questions as well. So if that is calling to you, if you're listening thinking, oh my gosh, I wish my life was more mindful, or I could, or I had access to these things, then you absolutely can. And come join us for that webinar. It is on the 28th. I'm just looking at my calendar here. 8 p.m. on the 28th of April. It's a Monday evening. There will be a replay available. So go sign up for that below. Any questions, as always, reach out. I love you guys so much. I am so delighted to be back. I've got some guests lined up as well, so they will be coming out soon. I just have to actually get online with them and record the interviews. And yeah, sending you so much love from my heart to yours, wishing you a beautiful April and beyond. And I shall see you soon. Take care, beautiful.